everybody. Today on Riffs, Beards, and Gear, Mike and I shoot out my R9 Murphy Lab Gibson Les Paul versus his $300 Chibson Gibson copy. So as legendary guitars go, I think it's pretty undisputable that the Gibson Les Paul is an iconic instrument for multiple reasons. It's been around for
seems like.
forever, right? 70 years or something at this point, or almost 70 years. And you see a lot of variations. There's a lot of different varieties of Les Paul. There is something for everyone at just about every price point from Gibson, unless you want to spend less than the entry level for an actual branded Gibson is like $1,400.
But you can get an Epiphone for $199.
That's true. You could get an Epiphone. But
Maybe less.
For an actual Gibson branded guitar for cheap,
yeah,
you got to look to the nefarious black market. And you have,
like Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, like Facebook Marketplace. And Mike customized his, what was it, $300?
$250.
$250
Chibson
knockoff that's meant to be a greenie copy. For all intents and purposes. So we thought it would be fun to shoot it out versus my $7,200 very legit R9 Murphy Lab Les Paul, and we'll see what we think at the end of this video. So first, let's start with a visual comparison. Now, obviously, these are different finish choices. Mine is a sunrise or southern fade burst or something like that. It's basically a tobacco burst for all intents and purposes with a little bit more red in the mix. Visually, mine obviously has the old school kidney bean tuners. You have Grovers.
There's nothing. I mean, I changed every single thing on this guitar.
Okay, but this is made to be, as we said, a greenie clone, right, of Kirk Hammett and Peter Green's guitar.
It's chewed up.
It's chewed up. It's relicked. But interestingly enough, the body on yours is physically thinner.
A bit thinner, yeah.
Just a tiny bit thinner, but it is noticeably thinner.
Only when they're right next to each other.
Yeah. And you can see, yeah, the R9 has a little bit more wood, but not much. But you do definitely notice it right when you...
We're dancing more into the 594 territory with this.
Totally, actually. Yeah. Real quick, I wanted to pause the video and point out that over 50% of the viewers on this or any other video on my channel are unsubscribed. And the best way to support what I'm doing here is to simply click that subscribe button, leaving a comment, or thumbs upping the video if you've liked what you've seen. So please consider subscribing to further support what I'm doing here on the channel. Back to the video. So next, let's go ahead and talk about build quality and feel. The necks on these guitars, pretty different.
Yes.
They're very different. Yours is huge.
It's super chunky, and that was what got me excited about it. I love the neck on this, and shockingly, straight from where I got it, the binding on the neck is straight as an arrow and super smooth. There's no edges. And even before I did a bunch of work to it, there was no fret sprout. I mean, it doesn't have nibs.
No.
But it has played nice before I made modifications on it. So
it did play nice. I played it before you did anything.
$250 guitar, I was like,
pretty good.
Wow.
Right. As far as my guitar goes, it feels phenomenal. It's acoustically very, very loud. Yours, we were talking off camera, it is acoustically loud. However, it almost sounds like it might be chambered.
Yeah, I saw no indication of it when I took the pickups out, but
it has a low mid kind of a bump, both acoustically and sonically when we get to the sound clip. But pretty interesting. Mine definitely has more of a bite. Than yours.
For sure.
This is a cool flavor, though. I mean, I'm not discounting that at all, especially for a $250 guitar. Now, all said and told, how much do you have into this guitar, including the modifications like the bridge, the fret leveling, tuners, and pickups?
Right. So I put a set of Wolf Tone Marshall head
Okay.
pickups in there.
Which are
Um,
vintagey.
very,
Yeah.
yeah. They're like hot PAFs.
Okay.
And the interesting thing is the 9 and I think 7.5, but your guitar had a greater output, a hotter output.
Totally.
Um, and then I bought Corson Corson hardware, which cost almost as much as the guitar.
Great hardware.
Killer stuff. I got a set of used Grovers, nickel Grovers off of Reverb. And then I had it all rewired by
Mm-hmm.
Todd Guitar Repair in West Seattle. Shout out to Todd. What's up,
Shout out,
buddy?
Todd.
But I mean, I even changed the strap pegs.
Sure.
Like
Everything has been done to it. You can do to it.
I mean, I think these are the rings and the knobs are still stock.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. So all said and done,
$900.
$900.
Yeah.
Okay. And again, this retails for $7,200, which is quite a bit of money for a Les Paul.
Sure.
Shout out to our friend James at Quimper Sound. At the time, I got to try the entire litter of 6 that were included in the batch with this guitar, and this was by far the best out of all 6. And I came home with it that day. So let's go ahead and do a little bit of a shootout. We're gonna do just some real quick comparisons using 3 different tones: clean, crunch, and high gain. Mike is going to be playing both guitars, all the riffs, very short comparisons, back to back to back to back. Yeah.
Let's do it.
We'll do some sound clips and we'll come back and talk about it. What do you think? We were talking off camera. My conclusion, I think, is different after shooting the sound clips for me personally.
I walked into this room chin up thinking
Dude,
I was going to disappoint you. Like, look at what I got. And in some ways, this thing is really killer.
it's a
I
killer
I mean, in
guitar.
every way, it's killer. I
It's a
love this guitar
yes,
and I've done gigs with it and it's
killer guitar.
fantastic. The fact of the matter is, if I changed the tuners,
Mhm,
um, and did a little bit of fretwork to it, not replaced it, but just did some leveling and whatever seating,
sure.
I would have been perfectly happy, you know?
Yeah.
But obviously when I played your Murphy Lab R9, I was like, "Oh, this is what you're paying for."
Yes. Now, would I say that this is worth every cent of $7,200? I wouldn't. Not as its owner. Would I pay a lot of money for this guitar again? Yes, I would. Now, do I think this is more in line of a, I don't know, a custom shop is what, 4 or 5 grand
Right.
or something like that? More than a standard, right? I've had many, many standards which currently retail for I think $2,800. Is this a 7,200 guitar? No,
I don't we should shoot that out with a custom shop
and
and
it's
a
just a standard.
production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a beloved tobacco burst standard that I'd loved that I recently got rid of just because I don't have the room for all the stuff. But
And you have this.
and I have this. This is one of my favorite recording guitars because this is so tonally consistent in the studio. I love this guitar, how it feels, just sings noticeably hotter output than the wolf tones in your guitar.
Yeah.
These sound super hot. They're only rated as like almost 9K. And they're 59 replica custom buckers, whatever that was at
Are
the
they
time.
how and they're set up about the same.
Yeah,
The height is the same.
yeah. Very interesting guitar because they don't currently come with these humbuckers anymore. Now they come with something totally different. But in 2023, that's what these came with.
But
I love them.
if you want to buy those, you can get them at Sweetwater.
You can for $1,000 a set, apparently. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That seems like a lot of money. Now,
Maybe I'll buy some of those and put them in here. Totally
whoa,
worth it.
totally worth it. No, but this guitar has a cool low mid thing, like we were saying earlier. It almost sounds chambered, or something like that. It has that low mid airiness to it. Really nice.
Strangely, your guitar sounded more modern,
I would agree with that. Yeah.
and this thing sounds a little old school.
Yeah, like for the ZZ Top riff, this guitar was fantastic.
And I would like to hear it in the playback, but in the moment, I was like, well,
Yeah,
at least it got that. I felt like it maybe like
totally.
it didn't win the match, but it won the set.
Absolutely. Killer guitar.
Cool guitar, and you know, I'm not I'm not condoning knocking like let's just it says Gibson on it. It's not a Gibson. It wasn't sold to me under the pretense that it was real. I understood what I
Yes.
was getting.
Yes. You knew exactly what you were
Um,
getting, and you knew what you wanted to do with it too.
Absolutely. Um, and I would never make something that had a logo on it that wasn't my own.
Sure.
But this already existed. I have friends that work at Gibson.
Of course.
And I got no beef with Gibson. Sorry, whatever. Here it is, $250.
Pretty killer for $250. I will say so myself. What do you think in the comments? $7,200 or $250 with some modifications and some little bit more money put in?
Yeah.
Yeah, leave a comment down below. Let us know which one you preferred. And with that, you have been wonderful. I have been Fluff.
I've been cheap ass Mike.
We'll see you next time.